Right, I think we're live now. So, hi everyone, and I hope just give us a quick sound check if our sound check is perfectly fine or not. If my sound, are you able to hear me, and are you able to see us clearly? And I'll just take 30 seconds pause to just get responses from you guys if you can hear me clearly or not. Yeah, I think the voice is fine now. So good to have you back, Ashish sir. This is our second session with you. The first session itself was amazing, and on popular demand, we had to get you back. के सर से और बात करनी और सीखना है, and couldn't be a better day because बहुत दिनों मार्केट थोड़ा बड़ा move दिया है नीचे साइड में.
Exactly.
Slightly tricky.
After a long time.
Absolutely. Slightly tricky time है. हमारे बहुत सारे users भी पूछ रहे थे कि क्या करें इस समय, trade करें या नहीं करें. So we'll get into all of these. Before that, I'll give a brief about you, what you are, and why are you such a known personality or face in the financial market of India. So as everyone must be knowing or not knowing, you are a CMT and a member of CMT USA. Correct me anyway, sir, wrong if I'm wrong.
Sure, please.
And you're an MBA and also an bachelor's in engineering from Mumbai University. We see you at various platforms like Z Business, CNBC TV 18, Bloomberg TV, ET Now, Bloomberg Quint. You have been also guest speaker at many prestigious colleges like IIM Trichy. NSC Investor Environment is also one program you're closely associated with. I have a lot of other things to talk about, but I think that gives a brief just to all our users as to what you are and what is the pedigree I'm talking about. So good to have you again here, sir. And I'm looking forward to having this amazing discussion with you.
Same here. A pleasure is mine. And thank you for getting me here. And also I've authored a book, Effective Trading in Financial Markets.
Right.
That's published worldwide, explaining every concepts of technical analysis, how it works and everything. And it's always amazing to speak with you and the participants to talk about market, especially on a day like this when we are seeing after a long time many who were waiting on the sidelines कि यार बहुत जन पूछते थे कि सर करेक्शन आएगा कब और अभी करेक्शन आ रहा है तो बोल रहे अभी बाय करें क्या, because the dilemma is we have been waiting for the correction for some time, and now when the correction comes with more than 230 points down on Nifty, the question mark again is, shall we buy now? And again, that kind of dilemma is there in every trader's mind. So it's going to be a very interesting discussion we are going to have, because options can provide a very classic instrument to trade, how we can look at it, how we can use that as a trader. It's a fantastic tool, and we'll discuss more about that.
Correct, sir. So now, sir, basically over the last month and a half, हमने पूरा seesaw देखा है. 19,200 से 20,000, 20,000 से 19,200, वापस 20,000 के ऊपर गया, and today it's closed around 20,000, 10 पॉइंट नीचे ही था. ठीक है. So different kind of emotions and different kind of trading. कभी मार्केट रेंज बाउंड रह गया, कभी मार्केट एक दिन में आज जैसे 200 पॉइंट गया निफ्टी, और कभी पूरे एक हफ्ते में 200 पॉइंट की रेंज ही नहीं होती है.
बिल्कुल.
In today's market also कि मार्केट ने खुलने के बाद भी 150 पॉइंट का फॉल दिया है, which means जो इंट्राडे ट्रेडर्स या स्कैल्पर्स था उनको भी अपॉर्चुनिटी थी to enter in the market and have some scalp out of it. Plus बैंक निफ्टी एक्सपायरी था, and बैंक निफ्टी तो आज I think majorly run by HDFC Bank, 4% down for the day. So, right. I mean, as a trader, what can we do in this quick falling market? या फिर range bound हो तो क्या करना चाहिए? Do we wait या फिर कुछ करना चाहिए या फिर just wait for something opportunities to come?
So see, first of all, बहुत important ये होता है, you have to understand whether you are a scalper or you are a intraday trader or you are a positional trader. It's very important to understand from that perspective. Then you have to keep in mind that whether you are trading options on the basis of which technique, which method. So many people I have known have been shorting put options on Bank Nifty, and Bank Nifty had a fall of nearly 600 points. And that's a huge fall on the expiry day when you created position just yesterday, and now today it was down by 600. So you also need to know, either you have to know where to place a stop loss, or you have to also know if you're not placing stop loss, can you do adjustment? So there are two ways to approach options. One is in the way of adjustment. When I say adjustment, you change your position, you change your strategy, you convert your calls into puts and you hedge it, or there are so many things that you can do about it in options. If you are not of that school, then you might want to use a stop loss, because you need to know how much you are okay losing, whether you are an option buyer. One of the biggest blunder I'm sharing across that option trader do is that when they buy call option, एक तो deep out of the money, and then they buy the call option just a day prior or on the day of expiry, in anticipation that their option will become in the money, and in anticipation on the expiry day it will go. So you are expecting market to do what you want in just a specific time. Now that is very challenging for option buyers, especially on the expiry day. And one more very important aspect is that the probability of an buyer who is buying out of the money option is hardly 10% of you making money. So now imagine if only 10% is the chance of you making money, and yes, you can make a lot of money, but only 10% chance. If you keep doing that, which means out of 100 times, you will lose 90 times in that kind of an option. But I have seen so many novice traders who enter the market, they want to buy the option, they want to buy out of the money because पैसा नहीं है, छोटा कैपिटल है, तो आउट ऑफ द मनी बाय करते हैं. एक्सपायरी डे पे पैसे को डबल तो करना है, तो द इजीएस्ट वे इज टू बाय ऑन द एक्सपायरी डे एंड डबल दैट money, but that's a blunder. And the smart traders are taking advantage of that, and then that's what they do. They sell these options because they know the chances of they making money here is nearly 90%. So if you are an expiry day trader, you need to understand very importantly what is the trend of the market. Right. Secondly, so I divide options into two parts. I divide it into the basic mathematical part, and I divide it into the basic, the other part is the forecasting or predictability. So the basic mathematics of option for option buyers is such that when you're buying an option, chances of you making money is only 35%, because that's the basic mathematics. The right. time just keeps ticking away, and if the market is sideways and the time ticks away, you still lose money. So you need to ensure that you are making the advantage of that probability, which is just 35%, into your favor. To do that, you need to use certain kind of stop loss, certain kind of methods, and momentum. You need to measure momentum, you need to time the entry. So वो सारे tools आपको आने चाहिए, तब option buying करके पैसा बनाना possible है. When I say tools, which means momentum कैसे कैप्चर करना है मार्केट में, ब्रेकआउट कहाँ आ रहा है, और वहां से कितना राइड करना है, that is very very important for option buyers. And even on the expiry day like today, you could have made money, but understanding the overall trend of the market, understanding कि अभी तक हम lifetime high पे थे, अभी lifetime high से काफी नीचे आ गए suddenly. So in this kind of a state, there is a confusion कि shall I bet on the downside or shall I bet on the long side. ये confusion हो जाता है लोगों को. तो इसके लिए आपको चार्ट्स देखना चाहिए. You need to apply certain techniques on the charts. You need to have certain methods, certain strategies, and then you will be able to trade intraday. You will be able to trade range. You will be able to trade breakouts. You can trade any and every kind of a market. So if you ask me, do I stay out of the market? Most of the time I'm in the market, because even if I'm expecting a range, I can still trade options. If I'm expecting a trend, I can trade options. If I'm expecting market to, I'm confused कि यार ऊपर जा रहा है या नीचे जा रहा है, I can still create some strategies and trade options. That is how I do it.
I mean, from what I understand from what you're saying, that it is sometimes difficult to be a buyer as compared to be a seller in the market. Am I right when I'm saying that it's difficult to be a buyer as against a seller?
Yeah. Can we see that? So yes. So I give example of Sachin Tendulkar. Right. If you watch cricket and you had watched Sachin playing the match, you will see that when he gets the perfect ball, he hits the six, and he never misses out that opportunity. And when there is no opportunity, he does not. He's not reluctant to take those ones and twos and not even a run if that is what is required. So you need to play like Sachin. You need to actually play like Sachin Tendulkar and Dravid both. Okay. So. When there is a loose ball, you need to know when to hit a six. When you are not able to make money from the markets and you keep on losing, you need to know when to play like a Dravid, because now the time is required. You need to stand like a wall, and you need to defend your capital. You cannot keep losing your capital. So now start accumulating those ones and twos, and once you accumulate those ones and twos, you can then hit a six. So the analogy is, when I say hit a six, it's about option buying, when you can make a lot of money. And when I say takes those ones and twos, it's about option selling, when you are able to squeeze out something out of the market. So I would suggest anyone who is trading in the market, you might have a less capital, maybe a lakh of rupees. But even in a lakh of rupees, you can still sell option at times. So do that. Or you should know when to stay out. Suppose आप option write करना जानते ही नहीं हो, आपको करना भी नहीं है, then you should know when to stay out and just wait for that right ball to come and then try to hit it hard.
I mean, adding to your point of cricket right now in current Asia Cup, which India won, if you were to see, ODI is 300 deliveries per side. उसमें dot balls होते थे 150, which means 150 days it's better not to make money, not to lose.
Yeah.
Boundary only 30 or 40, which means okay, you can be a buy at 10% time. Time में ones and twos चल रहा था.
Right.
I mean, that's the perfect example you gave. I mean, our generation will understand more of the cricket के किस तरह से analogy चल रहा है. In the world of T20 also भी, उसमें boundaries are lesser compared to singles for sure.
Yes, of course. क्योंकि क्या है कि हर बॉल लूज बॉल नहीं होता. सो मार्केट सिचुएशन के हिसाब से आपको ट्रेड करना है.
Right.
काफी बार क्या होता है ना, ट्रेडर्स थिंक दैट यार पैसा नहीं बन रहा है. बट हैव यू एनालाइज द मार्केट सिचुएशन? इज द मार्केट allowing you to make money?
Right.
So you need to also understand that. That's very, very important.
Right. And we have about 100 users with us live right now. So if any of you have a question, please put in the chat section. I will take up the questions with Ashish sir. Before we move forward, FinGrad, along with Ashish sir, is coming up with a seminar in Bangalore. Now, what is the seminar? What are the details? You have to just give me 1 second. I'll share my screen to give you a better idea. Let me know if my screen is visible. I think we are live now.
Yes, of course. I can see.
Hi,
So
everyone.
I'm sure.
And I hope just give us a quick sound check. If our sound check, yeah, it's seen now, right? Can be seen.
Yes.
Right. So if I go to seminar, so this is a seminar which we have with Ashish sir. It's Learn 3 Profitable Option Strategies with Ashish Kyal sir. It is on the 7th of this month. It is in Bangalore. It starts at 10 a.m., goes till 5:30 p.m. And we are taking care of all your food. Once you come there, all your breaks, everything we have. We have it carefully designed. Plus, with that, you get 3-month FinGrad subscription. FinGrad, as you know, is an educational platform with us, and we have more than 70 plus recorded courses, webinars, and you get subscription for that for 3 months for free. Now, what are we learning here? We're learning about the basics of option trading. We'll get a basic introduction. Then we're talking about option Greeks and how do we use for trade identification, buying and selling strategies using technical indicators. And there's no better technical trader than Ashish Kyal sir himself. He specializes in various technical tools. Plus, then we have how does one go about generating income, like both steady income and when they say na jab boundary bola to boundary maro, us tarah ka bhi opportunity ho, so how do you make the most out of it? We are learning that also. Then we have a Q&A session and you can socialize with Ashish sir, FinGrad team, plus you'll have other 40, 50, 60 fellow option traders who will be in that room. Very less you get a chance like that to talk to 50 options traders with like-minded people, because if you're not like-minded, wahan pe aap pahunchoge bhi nahi. So we have only, I think, if I'm not wrong, 17 seats left. It is going to be in the area of Kormangla. Exact venue will be updating in some time. It will be in the Kormangla area, central part of Bangalore. Everyone has the connectivity. That's not going to be an issue. Plus, it is going to be a weekend. So traffic will be also less. So you won't have to worry about traffic that day. So please make the most out of this opportunity. The link for the same is also pinned on the chat bar. So if you are interested in joining this seminar, please make the most out of it. The seats are only left seats are 17. So please make the most out of it. And it's going to be in both Hindi and English combined. So both audience sections can have fun and learn from it. Now, sir, coming back to our discussion, what we're doing now, you talked about like how does one stay patient, when to take a buy trade, when to take a sell trade, when to sometimes not trade. Sometimes it's okay not to trade because वो पैसा बाद में use करके पैसे बना सकते हो. Now my point is this के जैसे recent जो गिरा था fall 20,000 से 19,200, 800 points can sometimes be called as directional move. 809 से directional move हो गई. So उसमें both buyers and sellers कैसे trade करें, how do they do about doing it?
Sure. So if you don't mind, can I share across my screen?
Yes, please. I think you have my co-host. You can share your screen.
Okay, awesome. So इससे क्या होता है कि थोड़ा सा explain करना easy हो जाता है. So if you are able to see my screen,
yes,
everyone.
I can see your screen.
Okay, awesome. So यहाँ पर अभी अगर हम देखेंगे, so overall, this is a Nifty daily chart. One simple technique which I tend to explain to everyone is to understand what is the daily bias. When I say daily bias, it's a very simple method and it's a classic way to trade the market. The daily bias means that if you're looking at this chart, the overall trend started on the upside because we had a high above the prior candle high. This low is above the prior candle low. So if I'm looking at a candle, the current high is above the prior high and the low is above the prior low. So I can very simply say we have a higher high and a higher low formation. Since we have a higher high and a higher low formation, the trend is on the upside until and unless we have a lower high and lower low formation, followed by close also to confirm. From this point, for nearly 12 trading sessions until here, Nifty has managed to constantly managed to protect the prior low on closing basis. So we had a close which is today below the prior low. We had a high which is below the prior high, and we have a low below the prior low. This concept, if you apply on daily, you apply on weekly chart, it gives you a lot of perspective in what is the trend, whether you should be bullish or bearish for today. So if I'm looking at the weekly time frame chart with the same concept, you will see that from this point onwards, there is not a single lower high, lower low and a negative close until here. And this move is a huge move from 16,800 back to somewhere around 19,600. And then we saw that, and then the positive trend started. So on the weekly basis, we still haven't closed below the prior weekly low. So iska matlab kya hua? Daily trend is bearish. Weekly trend has yet not turned bearish, which means, and the monthly is positive, which means there are three different views on three different trends. One is like a primary trend, secondary, and the minor trend. So the monthly trend is positive, the weekly looks sideways, and the daily looks bearish. Now there is a conflicting signal. When there is a conflicting signal, options becomes very viable instrument to trade, because I know the best amount of money will be made buying option when the trend is in sync. And when the trend is not in sync, there are two things you can either do. Either reduce your trading to intraday now, if you're option buyer, or if you want to trade positionally, then become a seller, option seller. Now it completely depends whether you want to sell option or not, but it is how this is should be played. But नहीं, लेकिन अगर आप बोलोगे नहीं मैं पोजिशनली भी सेल करके ही पैसा बाय करना ही है, then chances of you making money will be little lesser. So to see that, you might want to apply momentum indicators. I'm just showing a chart how it looks like. To apply that concept of momentum indicator, it can be as simple as an RSI, or it can be any other indicator that you use. Combining that with an option strategy. When I say option strategy, कि भाई अगर मुझे ऐसे मार्केट में मेरा व्यू ये है कि यहाँ से मार्केट नीचे जाएगा, but it will not fall say below 19,600. If that's my view, I can form some kind of an option strategy where I can buy an option, I can write an option so that I can make the most out of the ongoing trend. Now this strike price selection, which momentum indicator to pick and how to identify that, how to do those analysis of on an option chart directly, where you don't want to see the spot chart, you can apply those on the option chart directly. All of this requires, I think, nearly around 4 or 5 hours for you to spend with me. So
That's
right now,
that day, sir.
yeah, absolutely. So it's going to be an amazing that on 7th October, when we discuss this in detail, I'm going to share across with you a simple strategies जो आप जाके very next day से implement कर सकते हो. You don't really have to implement it. You don't really have to think about it. It's like a understanding the context of the market and then getting that signal. So if I look at the, as I said, if I look at Nifty, the Nifty weekly looks still not changed the trend. Daily is definitely bearish, but is it the time to sell now? That's the question. अगर open होते ही आपने sell करने का opportunity था क्या? Because if you are selling at this point of time, what is your risk? Your stop loss. It's around 200 points. What is your target? Then you might have to use Fibonacci for target. So one of the blunders people do is they do not evaluate your risk, their risk and reward. They just सी की मार्केट नीचे गिर रहा है तो बेच दो, मार्केट ऊपर जा रहा है तो बाय करना है. Half of the time, most of the people are simply having that feeling of fear of missing out. I'm telling you honestly, and this is, I know, directly on the face, because that feeling is not only unique to you, that feeling is also unique to me. Because when market is rising and if I am not in the trend, अरे यार ऊपर जा रहा है कर नहीं रहे कुछ, ट्रेंड में कैसे आए? Now here is the opportunity for many of you who are sitting on sidelines and Nifty is back to 9900. Will you buy now? Or is it sensible to buy now? That's the question. So all of these things require some kind of very deep understanding of chart reading. And that if you read the chart, if you understand the chart, you might be able to come out with a solution that in this current market environment, when the primary trend is up and the binary trend is down, now I can possibly buy put options, but I need to hedge that put options because स्पीड में गाड़ी जा रही थी, सडनली रिवर्स हुआ है, तो यार क्या होगा? मे बी रेंज बाउंड मूवमेंट होगा. सो टूडेज मूवमेंट इज अ क्लासिक इंडिकेशन, अ शार्प राइज, अ शार्प फॉल, maybe will form a triangle, maybe, I'm just saying maybe. So where is the support? You can look at gaps, you can look at Fibonacci, you can look at lot of techniques are there to find out, identify support, price action areas, बहुत सारी चीजें आप देख सकते हो. So you need to identify कि where is the support in the market. If I'm looking at simple price action, I know the previous peak of the market is somewhere formed around this area. This was the earlier high. And from this area, we have now reversed on the downs. We reversed back on the downside and we went all the way on the upside. So we are right now lying in the previous price action support zone. लोगों को लगता है सपोर्ट मतलब एग्जैक्ट वो पॉइंट पे जाना चाहिए मार्केट, वहीं रुकना चाहिए और वहीं से रिवर्स होना चाहिए. नो, it's always going to be a zone. It is 19,900 to 19,840 is the zone. 19,840 is also 38.2% Fibonacci retracement level of the rise. So I know that this zone of 19,840 to 19,900 is the area where possibly we can start seeing sideways action, and maybe the down move can minimize or might not happen. So basis of that information and basis of the information that there is a gap which is going to act as a hurdle. So I have two levels or two zones defined. One is around this area and one is around this area. So once I have identified the, the trading zone of the market, now I need to identify my trading style or options. So basis of this information, the risk reward does not favor to sell the market now or to buy a put now.
Right.
I might want to see a pullback. If I get a pullback, till what level, then you might have to go on hourly chart. So this is also known as multi-time frame trading. You might see a pullback, go on the hourly chart, apply a technique, see kahan tak pullback aayega, and then when you want to short, buy puts, I mean to say, then you can ride the trend. So right now is the situation where you have to wait. Either wait, or the other thing that you can do is sell options. So if I know this information, I can sell 20,200 ka strike price option or 2,300 to be little on the safer side. Or if I want, and on the downside, maybe 19,600, 19,550 ka put option. But always remember, when you're selling an option as a strategy, also as a strangle, this is known as short strangle, you need to know where to place a stop loss and how to place the stop loss, how to ride that position, how to trade the gaps. What if the market directly opens against me? ये सारी चीजें आपको पता होनी चाहिए. You should not allow markets to surprise you. That's a most important thing. People actually wait for market to do something and then they react. So what I'm saying is, you should not react, but rather you should wait. You should know every possible movements basis on the information, basis on the chart, so that you are not surprised, so that आप शांति से सो सको. सुबह मार्केट ऊपर हो या नीचे हो, you know what you are going to do next. Your research, I'll tell you honestly, my research, best research happens not when the markets are on.
Right.
The markets बंद हो जाता है, that is the time I do my research, and it works fantastic. So even on Twitter, if you follow my levels, it works fantastic. Those levels are given, and these levels are derived most of the time post market or pre market. So that's how you should approach. And there are a lot of things. So अभी तो मैंने खाली आपको एक बताया किस तरीके से आपको ट्रेंड पता चलता है. बट खाली वही चीज से नहीं कर सकते. यू नीड टू क्लब इट विथ मोमेंटम इंडिकेटर, एज आई सेड. You need to club it with targets. You need to derive what is the risk, and then you form some option strategies. And every day there is something or the other that you can trade in the market if you know options well.
When you're showing that, when you're sharing your screen, I was watching on the right hand side was Dow Jones and it's 0.5% up for the day. So I'm like, अब पता नहीं कल क्या होगा, मार्केट वापस गैप अप होगा ना क्या होगा. I mean, even global factors will have to be given due consideration.
Yeah, of course.
Because I mean, क्या होता है कि हमारा सब कुछ वीक है, वहाँ स्ट्रॉन्ग है, तो हमारा मार्केट तो वैसे भी ऊपर जाने को तैयार रहता है. बोले एक मौके से भाग जाएंगे ऊपर.
और होता क्या है ना, जो लोग वेट कर रहे थे बाय करने के लिए, उन्हें अभी भी बाय नहीं किया क्योंकि इतना शार्प वाला है. अगर कल गैप अप होके फिर से रैली हो गया तो फिर वो फीलिंग आ जाएगी, फियर ऑफ मिसिंग आउट.
I mean, it could also be होता ना कि that Indo-Canada issues are happening, so that also plays a part on the thing, and sentiment wise थोड़ा weakness दिख जाती है.
Right.
But I mean, I completely get that. And sir, another question. I mean, I'll take a couple of questions from our users also in between. There's one question which is commonly coming, that how do I decide a stop loss for my position taken for intraday trading on options? I mean, कैसे होता है? How do you define a stop loss?
See, there are two ways in which you can possibly define stop loss. One of the ways in which you can do that is directly on a spot chart, directly on the spot chart, which means Nifty क्या कर रहा है उसके बेसिस पे मैंने stop loss define करा है और उसके बेसिस पे मैं stop loss लगा के रखा हूँ. That is on the spot chart. The other way of trading is to define a stop loss directly on the option chart. Directly on the option chart से पता चलता है कि भाई मैंने, I'm not bothered what is Nifty spot doing. I'm not bothered what anything else is doing. I'm simply looking at a stop loss on the option chart. There is no such preferred way कि आपको stop loss options chart पे लगाना है या stop loss आपको spot chart पे लगाना है. But you need to use a stop loss. So even if you are an intraday trader, especially an option trader, you can directly look at an option chart, define a way and level. I will not be able to explain it here because उसके लिए मुझे थोड़ा methods बताना पड़ेगा, techniques बतानी पड़ेगी.
Talk on the seminar day about these things.
Yeah, so we look at those things on 7th very detailed fashion में कि भाई stop loss अगर आप intraday trader हो तो stop loss कहाँ लगेगा. अगर आप positional trader हो, एक और चीज जो बहुत जन पूछते हैं मुझे कि पोजीशन ले ली है और मार्केट गैप डाउन हो गया मेरे अगेंस्ट, जैसे आज का सिनेरियो हुआ, तो ऐसे सिनेरियो में क्या करें. होता क्या है ना, अगर सडनली मूवमेंट आ गया, यू आर जस्ट ट्राइंग टू फिगर आउट कि यार अभी करूं क्या मैं, मतलब मार्केट रिवर्स हो गया है, शेल बी, और एंड यू कीप ऑन होल्डिंग इन एंटिसिपेशन, इन होप कि शायद एक बाउंस बैक आ जाए. और अगर एक्सपायरी कल है, वो होप में आपने अपने ऑप्शन का और 50% वैल्यू डिटोरिएट कर दिया. सो ऑप्शन बायर को हमेशा स्टॉप के साथ काम करना चाहिए. ये नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि यार जीरो ही तो होगा, जीरो होगा मतलब आपका पूरा कैपिटल गया. एक और मैं चीज आपको बताऊंगा, बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है. यहाँ पर ऑप्शन बायर सोचते हैं कि द रिस्क इज विद द ऑप्शन सेलर. ये तो हमने थियरी में भी पढ़ा है ना. समझो आपका लिमिटेड कैपिटल है अराउंड 10 लाख रुपीज. कैन आई से एज एन ऑप्शन बायर यू कैन बाय एवरीथिंग worth 10 lakh of premium and pay to the market which can become zero. आपने पूरा ऑप्शंस बाय कर लिया, समझो आप कर रहे हो और आपने 10 लॉट ले लिया या 50 लॉट ले लिया, तो 50 लॉट आपने आउट ऑफ द मनी ले लिया 20 रुपए पे और वो ऑप्शन हो गया आउट ऑफ द मनी एक्सपायरी डे पे, तो जीरो हो गया. तो मतलब कहना आई से आपका रिस्क अनलिमिटेड इस पे भी हो गया क्योंकि जो आपका 10 लाख कैपिटल था पूरा कैपिटल ही जीरो हो गया. अब उससे ज्यादा क्या जाएगा. तो दैट्स द रिस्क. नाउ ये लेकिन लोग भूल जाते हैं, अगर आप ऑप्शन सेलर हो और आपके पास 10 लाख रुपए ही है, आप किसी से बोरो नहीं करोगे और आपके पास और पैसा नहीं है, आप मैक्सिमम 10 लॉट निफ्टी का सेल कर पाओगे, उससे ज्यादा नहीं कर पाओगे क्योंकि एक लॉट के लिए 1 लाख का मार्जिन चाहिए. तो 10 लॉट अगर आपने बेचा है और आपके अगेंस्ट कल मार्केट गया तो एक्सचेंज आपका पोजीशन ऑटोमेटिकली स्क्वायर ऑफ कर देगा. तो मतलब आपका मैक्सिमम लॉस होगा कितना, 10 लाख का 9 लाख हो गया, उससे ज्यादा नहीं जाएगा. तो जो हमने पढ़ा है वो राइट है थियोरेटिकली. अगर आपके पास में काफी पैसा पड़ा है तो वो यूज हो सकता है, लेकिन अगर आपके पास में लिमिटेड कैपिटल है तो ये मान के चलना है कि आपका लॉस 10 लाख कैपिटल में ऑप्शन बाइंग में भी जा सकता है, बल्कि ऑप्शन सेलिंग में आपका 10 लाख पूरा नहीं जाएगा क्योंकि एक्सचेंज ऑटोमेटिकली स्क्वायर ऑफ कर देगा क्योंकि वो मार्जिन रिक्वायरमेंट है. तो बहुत सारी चीजें जो सीखते हैं और पढ़ते हैं और जब प्रैक्टिकली करते हैं उन चीजों में बहुत फर्क होता है वैसे।
Absolutely, sir. Because I mean, when जब मैं prop desk पे trading करता था, so my manager used to say कि think of option trading as a game of roulette. बायर होता है वो रूले पे लगाता है एक नंबर पे पैसा, तो तुम जीते तो 37x मनी आएगा, बट व्हाट आर द ऑड्स ऑफ गेटिंग दैट 1 आउट ऑफ 37? 2.3%, 2.4%, 2.5% at best. So think on those lines. That's why they say a house never loses.
Exactly.
Correct. On odd days there would be a burnout and everything, but that's a part of the game. That's the risk you take. But yeah, your point is right कि बायर का भी उतना ही रिस्क है देखा है तो सेलर, बिकॉज अगर आप सेलर ऑफ ऑप्शन में 10 लाख हो तो आपको लॉट ही उतना मिलेगा 10 ही, बायर हो तो शायद 10 लाख में 100, 150, 200, 300 लॉट भी खरीद सकते हो ऑटो मनी जाके. So yes, that risk is there. One question which is also coming, people are asking levels for tomorrow. We don't talk about levels because levels talk करने मजा नहीं है. We have to learn, and that's what we are trying to do. And another question which is coming in the most commonly is this. Okay, can I take positional trades using options? Can we do a positional trading using options?
Of course, क्योंकि see the best of the money can be made in positional trading. Intraday में क्या होगा, आप बनाओगे जाएगा, but the best of the money, I'm telling you, is to buy and hold on to it until the trend is reversed. That's when you make the best of the money. So for example, I turned bullish when Nifty was around 19,430 and at 20,175 मेरा target था basis of wave theory, and I spread off my position. This was the trend where I made the most amount of the money. And during intraday or maybe एक दो दिन के horizon से I might not make a lot of money. So you need to be very very prudent about the fact that कि पोजिशनल ट्रेडिंग और ट्रेंड जब स्टार्ट हो रहा है ना, तो पोजिशनल ट्रेडिंग करना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि आपको अपॉर्चुनिटी एंटर करने का मिलेगा ही नहीं. अगर आपने 19430, 500 या 550 पे नहीं एंटर किया होता निफ्टी, बाद में अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं था, क्योंकि मार्केट्स वेंट ऑन गोइंग अप वेरी शार्पली. सो वेयर वुड यू हैव एंटर्ड? So positional trading using options works fantastic. We are going to discuss a lot in detail about positional trading on 7th October in Bangalore. Actually, to be honest, I'm very excited about that event, Hitesh. The reason being, the last event happened prior to COVID, which was an offline event. I used to do that a lot in Mumbai. Bangalore में मैं ये event कभी किया नहीं है. And the feeling when you do an offline event, the interaction that you get, the networking that you do with people is simply amazing. The energy is very different when you do it offline.
Just to add on to what you said, sir, excitement is not just from your end. We've almost sold out almost 60-70% of the seats are almost sold out, and the event is still 2 weeks away. So I don't think so event the ticket बचेंगे. मैं सोचा last दिन तक बेचेंगे, but there is no tickets left, so we can't sell because event की भी limited capacity है.
Of course.
So yes, if anyone is, that's one of the reasons you should take this. Another reason why anyone should come to this seminar is because nowadays expiry 5 days हो रही है. Every there is one or the other expiry happening. So like sir said, there are strategies which can be deployed on daily basis with good back testing results. So उसके basis पे क्या होता है कि people might say, you know what, this event is worth 5K, but trust me, एक bad trade is worth 50K. So learn and make money out of it, and that is what I do, because the best education investment is on your own education. Especially if you are a full-time option traders, it's a no-brainer, because I am lucky enough कि हम आपसे directly मिलेंगे तो we'll get to learn from you there, and that is what I'm looking forward for it. And another reason, one more reason you should learn about, we are talking about different strategies that day, which don't have to be, ऐसा नहीं है कि उसको उतना ज़्यादा डिटेल में सीखना. These are simple strategies, but no one thinks on those levels कि इस तरह से trading करनी चाहिए, and you can directly replicate that from next day itself on your trading world. So that is another reason for which you should take up this course. Now, another question is this thing in Hindi? Yes, the course would, the live session will be a mix of Hindi and English. Major focus will be again on Hindi. 60, 70, 80% communication Hindi mein rahega. But if you are someone who likes English, this is absolutely perfect, because you'll get to learn everything about how to become a profitable option trader. So one last question which I have is this: how do you sometimes, because normally क्या होता है कि market trending होता है only 20% of the time. Other time it's normally range bound market. Now, non-directional market में, is there any scope for buyer in the market?
See, when you say non-directional market, there are two ways to look at it now. and absolutely market 80-90% of the time non directional hota hai. So agar buyer 18-90% of the time मतलब trade nahi karega to paisa kahan kamayega. So you have to see ki is it a non directional only for a day or is it non directional for 2-3 days, that you have to identify. Oh, can we identify that? Yes, you can identify a non directional market movement. It is possible. I'll give you certain tricks and techniques when we meet very clearly that I use to identify कि यार market ये non directional होने वाला है. तो अगर non directional होने वाला है तो strategy क्या होनी चाहिए option buyer के लिए? Buy near the support and sell near the resistance. That is the strategy. Yes, buy put near the resistance and sell near the support. So ये strategy अपनानी पड़ती है. When trend हो रहा होता है तो buy near the buy on dips and keep riding it. So you need to trail it. So उसके लिए पता होना चाहिए कि market sideways होने वाला है तो भी buy किया जा सकता है, लेकिन then आपका जो time horizon है वो 3 days का नहीं होके आपका time horizon intraday हो जाएगा. So how do, but उसमें important part क्या है? See, I will tell you, there are so many people who talk about options and say मुझे options आता है. अरे boss, do you know about the market first? ऑप्शंस तो बाद में आप डिप्लॉय करोगे जब मार्केट के बारे में समझोगे ना. अगर आपको मार्केट का ट्रेंड ही नहीं पता तो आप ऑप्शन को डिप्लॉय क्या करोगे? मे बी यू कैन ओनली डू अ नॉन डायरेक्शनल kind of a strategy which is anyways not going to give you a lot of money. But if you know about the market, if you know about the trend, the amount of ROI that you can squeeze out from the market is going to be a lot more than people. So there are people who are doing delta hedging, there are people who are doing arbitrage, there are people who are doing those things, but they are trying to squeeze out what 1% a month, maybe 12% kind of a thing. But if वही करना है तो फिर तो सीख के फायदा क्या, वो तो खाली उतना सा सीख लो और ये सब करते रहो. But if you can make that 12% a year instead of 12% a year, if you can make that into something like 40% a year or 30% a year, or maybe who knows 60%. So I tell my mentees when I speak with them also that do not keep a number how much you can make. You do not know what is your capacity or capability, and you do not know what the market has for you. So keep it open. You don't know how much you can make. If something like a COVID crash happens in 3 days of time, your option buyer, you could have ended up making your 50,000 into 4 lakh.
Absolutely.
You don't know how much you can make. So it can be anything. So the numbers can be anything that you can make in this kind of market. So, but you should know, you should have a strategy. So yes, even in a range bound market, you can definitely have opportunities to buy option, but then your style should change. Your buying on the support, selling on the resistance. You should know how to derive those opportunities. You should know which strike price to select. Many people actually do blunders of trading options, but उन्हें पता ही नहीं strike price कौन सा लेना, उन्हें पता ही नहीं expiry कौन सा लेना. सब लोग क्या लेते हैं, अरे यार मैं तो zero to hero वाला गेम खेलूंगा. And in that zero to hero वाला game, just check if you have done that for a year. Try and see how many times were you a hero, and that will give you your answer, right? Absolutely. So there are a lot of things that we can look at it. And ऐसा नहीं वो game नहीं खेला जा सकता है. You can play that, but only if you have a method, you have a strategy, you have a plan, you have a way to trade that, and you can do that.
Like they say, method to madness. I mean, what you said, so even if you remember when Nirmala Sitharaman announced the corporate rate tax cut.
That was September 15th, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. And I was still trading on a prop list. So Indian market बहुत कम trade करता मैं because I wouldn't have time. But I had two strike price out of money options. I was bought, call options. And I didn't even see it. I had bought for 20 rupees. When the market closed, the option was trading at 940. So think about, वो होता ना कि buyers के लिए ऐसा नहीं है कि अंत ही है, कुछ है नहीं. Actually, news driven market में buyers have higher potential.
Right.
सारे ऐसे होते हैं कि इलेक्शन के टाइम पे दोनों साइड खरीद के बैठ जाते हैं 2 दिन पहले कि स्टेबल गवर्नमेंट आई तो ऊपर चला जाएगा, अनस्टेबल आई तो नीचे चला जाएगा, पैसे बन जाएंगे. पीपल हैव मेड मनी आउट ऑफ दैट वे. सो दैट इज मेथड टू मैडनेस कि चलो हीरो जीरो करना है, पर एक तरीका है, सोच है उसके पीछे भी.
हाँ बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. Well, when you are gambling also, if you do it systematically, you can make money.
Right. Correct. So again, I think that would be it from my answer. And great to have you again. To everyone, please, if you haven't yet, enrolled for the seminar, make the most out of this opportunity because Ashish sir Baba Bangalore nahi aayenge.
No, absolutely, because it's going to be really amazing. See, what is there is I think the ticket price is just 4,999.
Absolutely.
5,000 में आप एक option भी नहीं खरीद सकते हो, मालूम है?
Plus
और आपको
3 subscription is coming free with it for 3K.
You will not believe, when I go for a movie here, if I go to PVR or any other place, the popcorn price is 500 rupees. The movie ticket for a family, if I do spend out, I end up spending like 2,000 to 3,000 rupees at minimum. That's the spend. And remaining, if I eat something out, 5,000 तो ऐसे ही खर्च हो जाता है यार. And we think so much to educate ourselves on something like this, which is going to be with me for lifetime. Well, this is not like buying a movie ticket. This is not entertainment. This is making a serious business out of it. Maybe if you want to really maybe quit a job and do it full time, or maybe if you want to have a parallel source of income along with what you are anyways doing right now. So क्यों नहीं यार, क्यों नहीं सीखा जाए और करा जाए? That's a very important thing.
And the link is again pinned in the chat box. And for anyone who watches later on also, we'll put in the comment box the link for it. So please make the most out of it. There are 17 tickets. It's a race against time. So let's see who come in, who don't come in. But Ashish sir would be in Bangalore and the area would be Kormangla. Specific location will update tomorrow. But it is going to be Kormangla or Madiwala bus stand, somewhere around that area. There's a business hotel. We are looking at that. And we'll have that location. I'll be honored to meet you, sir. And if there's nothing else, we wrap up this session and say call it quits for the day, and then we'll see you when I see you in Bangalore, sir.
Sure, absolutely. And it's fantastic. You people are trying to educate the masses, do these kind of things. It's really amazing, and it's best to be. We will be meeting, and I'm really excited. And it's not only me. You'll be networking with so many of the others. So we're trying to create that ecosystem. You know, जहाँ सब लोग मिल सकते हैं, discuss कर सकते हैं, form some groups, talk about ideas. I'll be there, and बहुत सारी चीजें होगी. So it's going to be fantastic networking as well.
Sure. Thank you so much, sir. And
thank you.
The session for now, and hope to see you guys then. Bye-bye.
Sure. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Just give me 1 second, sir.